I don't really have anything in specific. It's currently spring break, so I don't really have any homework right now. But I will have a couple tests I'm going to be retaking
Uh-huh.
once I get back. And
Let's
so,
go over some of those.
well, let me check really quick. Let me see what kind of tests they are.
If you,
Because,
if you can take a picture of them and send them to my email, then I can bring it up on the screen and we can both be looking at
yeah, I don't think I have a picture of the test, but
it.
I
Camera?
have kind of general subjects we could go over.
Well, that's fine. We can do that also. If you
Yeah.
can verbalize some problems, I can write them out and we can do them.
Okay. A second. Just bring out my binder really quick.
You're Algebra 1, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you should be able to verbalize problems. It's only when you really get into geometry that it becomes difficult to verbalize them. But as
Yeah.
long as you're in Algebra 1, probably should be able to verbalize most of the problems that we can.
Yeah. Okay. So, let's see if I can get one right here. Oh. Okay. Uh. Okay. Actually, I think I have one. Yeah. All right. So one of the first problems is uh r and it's to the power of 4 out of 5. 4/5.
Like that.
Yeah, and it says rewrite in radical form.
Okay, that is a fractional exponent.
Yeah.
Okay, the bottom is the root, the top is the exponent. So if I want to rewrite that with radical, I'm talking about the fifth root of r to the fourth.
Okay.
If I had r to the 2/3, then I would be talking about the cube root of r squared.
Yeah.
It's that straightforward. Whenever you see a fractional exponent, that's what it means. And it doesn't matter. It can be, if I had r to the 16/17, and that is the 17th root of r to the 16th power.
Okay. How would I do it from there? Like, I don't know how to do that.
Well, you can't really reduce
Exponential
that.
root.
That's the answer they're looking for right there.
Oh, really? That's all?
Now, if you had a
Oh.
number, here, let's talk about, there's some numbers that are pretty common that you're going to run into a lot, like 8 to the 2/3 power. This is the one you're going to see many times. So, what is that? That's the cube root of
Of
8 squared.
3. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
the secret for doing it is to do the root first. You don't want to square the 8 first. That's 64. The cube root of 64 is a harder problem than the cube root of 8. What is the cube root of 8?
Uh,
What number multiplied by itself 3 times equals 8? When you have problems like this, it's always going to be a small whole number. In other words, your answer is going to be 1, 2, excuse me, 2, 3, or 4. Well, which one is it? What's the cube root of 8? What number multiplied by itself 3 times equals 8? Sully, I don't hear any sound. I'm not sure if I lost the sound or if you're still there. Are you still there? Right. Well, somehow we lost sound. I'm going to call you on my phone in case you can still hear me.
Hey, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Okay, I can.
Okay, yeah. My bad.
Occasionally, there will be audio problems using GoToMeeting. When there
Yeah.
are audio problems, I'm just going to call you on the phone. And
Okay,
we'll do
cool.
the entire audio through the phone.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm not sure what just happened. You actually got disconnected from the GoToMeeting somehow.
Yeah, I just I closed out and reconnected because it wouldn't let me talk.
It wouldn't let you talk?
Yeah, I don't know.
How'd you know it wasn't letting you talk? Because I couldn't hear you?
Well, yeah, and it didn't like the bar didn't go
Oh,
whenever I talked.
okay. If that happens again, just don't close out GoToMeeting. I'll just call you and we'll finish the audio by phone.
Okay.
Okay? That's always the easiest way. As long as we have audio, we're in good shape. So the
Okay.
first thing is, what is the cube root of 8? What number multiplied by itself 3 times equals 8?
That'd be two.
Okay, now what's 2 squared?
4.
Notice that it's really easy if you do it that way. If you do it this way and you do the 8 squared first, you get 64. Now you got to figure out the cube root of a much bigger number.
Yeah.
When you're looking at these fractional exponents, always do the root first. It will be a whole number, I promise you, in Algebra
Okay.
1. It'll never be anything but a whole number. It's not going to be 2.11 or 2.17 or anything like that. It's going to be either
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, or 5. So
Okay.
do the bottom first, the root, whatever you get, then you apply that exponent, so forth and so on.
All right.
All right. Um,
Another one I have is it's in parentheses -8, and then outside of the parentheses it's to the power of 3/7. 3 out of 7.
that doesn't mean 3 out of 7. That means -8 to the 3/7 power.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the way you want to think of how that says, how to verbalize that. -8 to the 3/7 power. What is it that they want you to do with this?
Rewrite in radical form.
Okay. So how do I do that? Apply the bottom first. There's the radical sign.
And
Where's
just
the
put the
7?
7 in the
Where's the
left side.
7 go?
It goes on the left side, I think.
Goes right there.
Yeah.
That means the 7th root. And what goes on
Yeah.
the inside? -8
Uh,
third power.
yeah.
Now, they may want you to simplify that. Can you take -8 to the third power in your calculator? I don't know if they
Um,
do or not. They probably shouldn't, but they might.
Hold on. Uh, -512.
Yeah, so they might want this as the answer. The 7th
Okay.
root of -512. And I don't know if that's a number or not. Might be. Take -512 in parentheses and take it to the 1/7 power. What do you get?
Uh,
Should be a negative number.
um, I don't know. I don't think my calculator can do that.
Yeah, you just have to put it in parentheses. Put -512 in parentheses and then
Okay.
raise it, that sign right there, to the 1/7 power, also in parentheses.
All right. Let's see. -73.14.
No,
Then it's just like a ton of
nope,
jumbled numbers.
that's not right, because if I multiply that by itself 7 times, I get a number much, much bigger
Oh,
than 512.
oh yeah, because
It's
it,
got to be
yeah,
a
I
really
see
small
it.
number.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I see what it did wrong now. It did to the power of 1 divided by 7.
You got to put all of that in parentheses.
Yeah.
This doesn't work unless you use parentheses around the -512 and the 1/7 power.
Now it says it's negative 2.4380273.
Okay. So that's
Blah, 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 blah.
still an irrational number, which means the best answer is that.
Okay.
In other words, the seventh root of minus 512 is a more accurate answer than minus 2.43. This is rounded off because that's an irrational number. That's going to go on and on forever. There's no way you can possibly, no matter how many decimal places you use, there's no way you can make it as accurate as this.
Okay.
And so you probably don't want to put the decimal. I don't know. It kind of depends on your teacher. Usually takes till you get to Algebra 2, where they stop having you put it in decimal format and they have you leave it in radical format, because radical format is more accurate.
Okay, cool.
But it depends on what your instructions are. If you have a teacher that is still having you round it off to say the two decimal places, then you'd want to put that number. Maybe, I don't know, what was the third digit after the 0.43?
Let me check. It was 8.
So if you were rounding it off to 2 digits or to 2 decimal places, it would be minus 2.44.
Okay.
It all depends on what the instructions are on that.
All right, gotcha.
Okay, what else we got?
It says evaluate the expression, show all work using properties of exponents, and then leave answers in fractional form if necessary. And this one is a little bit crazy. It's negative root. It's like the root sign, and on the left side is 5, and the inside of it is 16807.
What?
Oh, no, hold on. Yeah, the 5 is on the left side, like on the outside. It's like,
So it's
yeah.
minus 5, square root. What goes inside the radical?
16807.
I don't know what A07 means.
807.
168?
Yeah, 16807.
Oh, like that. In other words, just a
Yeah.
number.
Yeah, and it's like the root thing is 5. It's like to the 5th power, I think. I wish I could like draw with you, W.
Is this where it should be, or should it be in this crook of the radical sign?
The crook.
So it's really this. It's minus now my computer is on slow motion mode for some reason. I don't know what happened. Okay, I seem to be okay now. So it is minus the 5th root of 16807, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So how do you figure out this?
I have no idea.
Put in 16807 and raise it to the 1/5 power. That's what the 5th root means.
Okay, 1 second.
So it's here's how you put it in your calculator. 16807 raised to the 1/5 power, and you can even type that as 0.2 if you want. But make sure that's all in parentheses. Otherwise, you're going to raise it to the 1 power, and then you're going to divide your whole answer by 5. So you need parentheses around that.
Yeah, I got you. It says it's just 7.
How much?
Just 7.
7? Okay.
Yeah.
So now
7.0.
just to check it, take 7 and raise it to the 5th power and make sure you get that number.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's 16807.
Okay. Now what's the answer?
7.
Negative 7.
Oh, negative. Oh, yeah, because it has a negative sign on the left. I see that.
Yeah, that doesn't do anything. In other words, that stays there. This negative sign has nothing to do with anything that follows. It's not inside the radical sign. It's outside. So we solve this first, which comes out to be 7. And then we add the negative sign because it was still there, it still is there.
All right.
Okay, what else?
He wasn't even looking at me.
Okay, and next we got, let's see, 81, and then you go up, and it's -3/4.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay. What's that negative exponent mean?
Um,
I said this.
very confused.
What's that equal to?
Let's see, that'd be -8. Wait,
No.
am I right?
Negative exponents, this is one of the biggest
Oh, it makes
mistakes made in
smaller.
algebra. Doesn't have anything to do with negative numbers. What it means is
Uh,
reciprocal. In other words, it means this. That's all it means. So that's
okay.
a positive 1/8. Okay?
Okay.
So
Oh, yeah, okay.
when I convert your problem, I'm going to change it to a positive exponent like that. That is the same thing as that.
Okay.
Now, again, let's work with the denominator and let's find the fourth root of 81. And remember, these are always small whole numbers. It's either 2, 3, or 4.
Okay. 1 second.
If you don't know what it is, your calculator, type in 81 to the 1/4 power.
All right, let's see who that is. 3.
Okay, now take 3 and cube it.
All right. 3 cubed 8, 27.
That's the answer.
Cool. Cool. All right.
Okay, what else we got?
All right. Let's see.
We're going to turn you into a math whiz whether you like it or not, Sully. You got math skills, I remember. You just
Yeah.
gotta apply them right.
Right. Okay. Says simplify the expression completely and write your answer using only positive exponents.
Okay.
And first one's pretty simple. I think it's a squared times a to the 6th.
To the 6th?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you do with the exponents when you have the same base, different exponents, and their multiplication is going on?
Do you multiply them? Or
Never ever do the same thing.
okay.
I'm not in other words, multiplication is what I'm doing to the bases. So
Yeah.
the one rule,
Add them.
yes. In other words, never do the same thing. If you're not multiplying them, what are you going to do? You're going to add them.
And if you're not adding them, then multiply them?
Well, we'll go through the rules. Let's go through them. If I have a to the x divided by a to the y, then you subtract them.
Right.
You don't divide the exponents. Notice you never do the same thing to the exponents that you're doing to the base. And
Okay.
finally, if I have a to the x all to the y, same base, double exponentiation, then you multiply them.
Okay.
Those are the 3 rules. You got to remember those 3 rules. When you're multiplying the bases, you add the exponents. When you're dividing the bases, you subtract the exponents. And when you're exponentiating, you multiply the exponents.
Okay.
Those 3
All
rules, that's it.
All right. And let's see. Next one is b to the 5th power over b to the 3rd power.
What's that?
So if it's asking you to divide, so you'd subtract? Since you would? Okay.
Yep.
So -2, b to the -2nd?
5 minus
Or,
3 is a positive 2.
okay.
Okay, now let's change the problem a little bit. Let's make it b to the 5th over b to the 7th. Now what is it?
Would that be -2?
Yeah, but the instruction said, do not give any answers with negative exponents. So I got to convert that to a positive exponent. What do I do?
Just divide it by -1? Or,
Not divide by -1. Remember, that has nothing to do with negative. It means reciprocal. That's what it means.
okay.
So this is the answer you would want to give. That has nothing but positive exponents, and that's the same thing as b to the -2.
Okay. All right, I see.
So whenever you see a negative exponent, let's say I had this. Even though it's in the denominator, is all I have to do is move it to the other side of the fraction bar, change the sign. It's the same thing.
Okay.
So if it's in the numerator, move it to the denominator, change the sign on the exponent. If it's in the denominator, move it to the numerator, change the sign on the exponent. It's that simple and straightforward.
Yeah. Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
Okay. What else? We only have a minute or two. We got time for maybe one more.
Okay. Oh, okay. Here's a tricky one, so it'll take up all the time. So, I don't know. I'm gonna verbalize this.
Try.
Actually, no. Okay.
There's actually
It's all.
there's a lot to be learned by verbalizing. Surprisingly so. And the reason is you don't get a whole lot of chance to do it in class, correct?
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
often
No, I
does
haven't
the
really ever had to
teacher
do that.
stand up and say, verbalize this problem? Probably never.
Yeah. No.
And you actually learn quite a bit by being forced to verbalize it. So
Okay.
let's
So,
try it. Give it a shot.
all of it's in parentheses to the 5th power.
So,
And inside of it.
well, the way to state that is left paren. Now tell me what's in the parentheses.
Okay, so on the top it's 2x to the -2nd power, y to the 3rd power.
Like that?
Yeah.
And that's the only
And
thing in the parentheses, right?
but under that
Okay.
is 3x to the 0 power, y to -4th power.
Okay. And then all of
And then
that is what?
all of that's in parentheses to the 5th power.
Okay. Hold on one second. I want to do this problem before I let you go. There's a couple of ways to do it. The way that I think is the best way to do it is to apply that 5 to everything for starters. And the way you do it is you just multiply exponents. Okay? Now, that 5 also applies to the 2 because the 2 is inside the parentheses. So here's what I'm going to do. 2 to the 5th, x to the 5 minus times -2, that's x to the -10th, right?
Okay. Yeah, and then y to the 15th.
And then I'm going to do the same thing in the denominator. I have 3 to the 5th. And what's the x? X to the 0 to the 5th power is what?
0.
X to the 0. In other words, it's x to the 5 times 0.
And then y to the -20th, or?
Yes. Now,
Okay.
what is anything to the 0th power?
0.
1.
1. I mean, yeah, 1. I forgot.
1. Okay. So now I have this. I have 2 to the 5th, which is 32. I have x to the -10th. In other words, I do everything in the numerator and denominator, and I don't convert it till the very end. 3 to the 5th, I don't know what that is. I'm just going to call it 3 to the 5th. X to the 0 is 1. And I still have a y to the -20th. Now, I got to keep simplifying. I've gotten rid of my outside parentheses. And so, just do your numbers first. That's 32 over 3 to the 5th. Now do your x's. Where does that x belong? They don't want any answers with negative exponents. So where does that x go? In the numerator or the denominator?
Would that be the numerator?
No, it's got a negative exponent if I have it in the numerator. They don't want
Oh,
negative
yeah.
exponents. So I got to move it to the denominator and change it to a positive exponent.
Okay, I get that.
Okay, and now do the y's. Subtract those exponents. What do you get?
Y to the negative fifth?
Nope.
Oh,
Subtract.
no?
You have 15 minus a minus 20. What is that?
Oh, so would that be positive 35?
Yeah, and since it's positive, it goes in the numerator. Actually, it automatically goes in the numerator, and then if it's negative, put it in the denominator. But that is a perfectly fine answer. You can turn that into a number if you want. I don't know what 3 to the 5th power is. I guess that's 3 times 81. So what is that? 32 y to the 35th all over 3 times 81 is 243 x to the 10th. Now, that's not divisible by 3. That is. So I probably can't simplify that. I don't know of any number that divides into 32 over 243. So
Okay.
this is my answer right here. And I've got nothing but positive exponents.
Awesome.
If I would have ended up with a negative exponent there, then I would have just moved it to there, made it positive, like that. That's all you
Okay,
do
cool.
with negative exponents is move it to the other side of the fraction bar.
Gotcha.
All right.
Cool. Well,
Silly,
that's
I
awesome.
will let you go, and I will talk to you Thursday at 6.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. Talk to you then.
All right. See ya.